So LEETCODE question number 176. The question is quite easy if you understand how it's done. The question is you have to find the second highest salary from the table that's given. Let me do one thing. Let me just share that screen only where we have that question, and let me write it there only so that we understand at the same time and we can go to the question too. So this is my screen. Yes. Okay. So second highest salary is what we need to find out. You can see that we have a table of employees, and in that we have ID as well as salary, right? So ID and salary are the columns that we have. There's this one example given that there are 3 employees in which they have ID as 1, 2, and 3. And Madhu, please don't write. Okay, ID, salary, and salary is like 100, 200, and 300. Fine. So if you have to get the second highest salary, it will be this, right? This is 200. This is the second highest salary that you have to give in the output. Okay. So what you need to return is you have to report the second highest salary from the employee table. For example, here the output will be 200. And if there is no second highest salary, for example, there's just one record and there's no highest salary as such, you just have to report null. Easy question. Do we understand the question first? Any doubt in the question? Okay, so let's start. If I want to compare the second highest salary, so what can I do? I can have the first highest salary for me. For example, the salaries that we had were 100, 200, and 300. So what I can do here is I can find this out. I know to write this. Select max salary from employees. This will give me what? 300. Okay. But what I want is my salary should be less than this. So my salary should be less than what? Max salary. Okay. So to have this thing, write this thing, I can use subquery. Let me try this first. I'll clear all the drawings and I'll do the code with you. I want you to do it with me as well. If you have any doubt, you can comment down so that I can clear it for you. So let me first clear all the drawings. Fine. So what I need is, I know the select max salary, right? It will give me the maximum salary that is there from the table is called employee. Okay. Now, what I need here is, I need a salary that is less than this. That is less than what? Less than the max salary. So what I can do here is, I can just put this thing in this. Okay. And I can write select salary. Also, I have to give it an alias. If you can see, sorry. If you can see, I have to give this an alias. It's written in the output that you have to give the alias as the second highest salary. Select salary that is less than the max salary from the employee table. I'll just paste this. Okay. Select salary as what? This second highest salary. This is the output that you have to give in this format. So I'll just write it like this. From employee. And we'll just add a condition.
Actually, you pasted wrong.
We'll just add a condition that where salary is less than, select max salary from the employee. I think somebody was speaking about something. If you have any doubt, please raise your hand so that I can help you with that. Don't like speak in between while I'm explaining, right? So let me just run this out. Sorry, this is what I have. Okay, So now what are you getting is you are getting two output because there are two things. There are two salaries, right? That are less than 300. If you see here, what I'm getting is the two salaries that are less than 300 are 200 and 100. So this is what we are getting in output. But I just need one thing, right? I just need only one answer. So what can we do to make this just to have one answer? First of all, what we can do is we can order by the salary in the descending. Okay, order by the salary in the descending. And then we can, if you want to limit your answer just to one answer, if you just want one row in your answer, you can use limited. So I can use limit one. So let's see if this runs. And sorry, order by salary descending and limit one. So I want everyone to run this with me. Now, case one is passed. That means we get the second highest salary, right? Everybody understood that we are getting the one answer. Case one is passing for everyone, right? But case two is failing. Case two is the one in which we have only one entry in the table. So there is no second highest salary, right? So we'll get null. So how can we solve this case? Only one corner case is left. Yes. So to solve this, what we can do? Can you think of something? You can take a pause and think of something. Okay, case, fine. So Mohit is saying we can use case. Case is basically like if you have a particular thing, if you have some conditions. So it's saying if we can add condition that if there's only one record, then return null. And if we have multiple records, then we can use this approach that I have used. Fine. Let's make it a little simpler. This doesn't need everything like that. Can you think of something else? Case is fine. Case is good. Case will work. But can you think of something else? Group by. Okay. What do we need to group by? If you are trying to do group by here, what will you do? Okay. If null, fine. I'll tell you one simple example. What we can do here is, for example, select salary as second highest salary from employee, where salary, what if I use this? Not in. That means the salary should not be in the maximum salary from the employee. Will this work? Let's run it. Now case one is working again, case two is not. Think of something. Think of it like this whole session has the only that a goal that you need to think of this solution on your own. So that you try, you understand, okay, this is how this should work. Try. It's okay. It's okay if you are doing it in the wrong way, but try. Case when with count. Okay, if you want to do case, try case, no problem. Give me the solution that you are getting when you are using case. Try it on your own lead code. Try it with case and tell me how are you getting the answer. Okay, having count. So what will you group by that? Mohit, what will you group by? This thing will work. This query that I've written will work if we have more than one record in the table. Okay. Nobody asked me about this thing. Muskan, can we use offset here? Nobody told me about that. Can we use offset here? We can use offset, but again, let's see what will be the problem. Suppose, I think this query is clear. Let's just remove this. Suppose if I'm using offset here, what I can do here is I will select distinct salary from employee, easy. And I'll order it by what? Salary again, this in descending. I limit it to 1 and offset 1. Offset means that you have to skip these number of rows. So if you use offset 1 here means it will skip these rows. Okay. And what I can do here is, this is the one thing that I can use. And what else can I use? I can also use as, first of all, I have to give this an alias to second highest salary. Let me write it. Second highest salary. And let's run this out. Okay, so it's giving me case 1 accepted, fine. Case 2 accepted, fine. It's giving me null because we don't have the salary right now for the second highest in that case. Let me try and submit this one. Okay, this is fine. This is working, no problem. But I will give you one more solution. I will give you one more solution for this problem. And that solution is the one that I think will be easiest for everyone to understand. Okay, you need to, I need you to understand offset first. Okay, fine. I'll explain offset. So offset is basically when you want to skip some rows. For example, here what I said was offset 1. That means skip the first row and give me the second row as the answer. So if you want to skip something, you can use offset there. Do you understand offset now? If you basically want to skip something, right? If you want to skip a few number of rows, you can use offset there and it will skip those number of rows for you. Okay. I'll give you one more, I'll give you more technical definition of offset. It is offset in SQL is used to eliminate a set of records from a given table in order to retrieve a set of records according to the requirement that we have. Okay. Now, limit and offset, there's a difference. Yeah, I'll explain both of them in detail. Limit, if you're writing, basically it gives you, for example, I'm writing limit 1. That means give me 1 record. Okay. And if I'm using it with offset, it is also telling it, okay, skip this many number of rows and then give me 1 record. offset clause is specifying the number of results in the result table to be skipped before any rows are retrieved. So offset one here means ki there were, if I don't use offset here, right? So let me just show it to you like this. Okay, if I don't use offset here or limit here, you can see that I'll get output. Subquery returns more than one row, that is fine. Let me show you what is the output that I'm getting. It's not working, 1 second. Limit kar deti hu. Let me limit it to 1 first. Okay, so now you can see it's returning 200 here. Second highest salary mein, oh sorry, it's returning 300 here and it should return 200, right? So it's not skipping the records. It's not skipping the records. What I did here was, let me write it on the whiteboard. If I want you to visualize the output of this one, if I want you to visualize the output of this one, it will be 300, 200 and 100 because it is being ordered by what? It is being ordered by the salary. So I will get 300, 200 and 100. Let me write this so that I can show it to you. If I just remove this particular thing for now, if I'll remove this particular thing, limit, 1 second. If I'm removing this particular thing and get the output, so in the output I'm getting 300, 200 and 100. Why? Because I'm selecting the distinct salaries and I'm ordering it by what? I'm ordering it by the salaries that I have. Okay, so 300 will come first, then 200 and then 300 again. Sorry, 100. So when I'm using limit, what will happen is it will give me one record. And I'm not telling that which record it should give me. So it will give me the top record. Now, I don't want the top record. I want the second record. So I want limit to skip this one. I want to skip the 300 one and give me this 200 one. So for that, I'll write offset one. That means skip this one and give me this. Clear? Do you understand this? You can just think as of the offset. It is basically like an instructor. It's basically like instructor that is telling your SQL where to start returning the rows. So it's basically saying ki yahan se start running the rows. If I do limit 2 and offset 1, that means it will return this and this. So now tell me, do you understand offset now? Good. Fine. Now this is working. This is good. But I want you to have one more easy solution than this. And for that, what we will use? We will use IFNULL. It's very simple, IFNULL. Do you understand this query that is written? Ye wali query sabko clear hai that is written, second one. So I'll just remove this one and I'll go ahead with the another approach. Okay. So what I can do here is I can just select and say if null. Okay. So I will say select distinct salary. Again, I will write that condition that I have written from employee, order by salary descending, limit 1 and offset 1. Limit 1 and offset 1. Okay. And I will tell, okay, after this, I'll tell null. That means key if the value that we have, it's not null, so give me this thing. If the value that, if the values that I have, okay, is coming out null, so give me null as output. Okay, so I'll just write it like this, as second highest salary. Now, I want you all, if you don't understand what is null, I want you all to go to a website. I'll show that to you. I'll just open it right now for you, but let me see if this solution is working. So let me write if null. Okay, so if null, yes, you can always consider W3 as your go-to solution for anything. If null is basically what? You can check this out. If null function lets you return an alternative value if the expression that you have is null, right? So that means if the expression that you're trying to calculate in the question, if it is null, then give me the another value. Okay, so let's try it. Let me just give you another one. If null with example, if there's something, let me see. Okay, so if select if null, null or w3 schools.com. That means what? Let me just run it for you. You can run it with me. So you can see w3 schools.com that you're getting. So there are two values that you can return, 1 and 2. So you can either return null here or you can either return w3 schools.com. Okay, if the expression that you are getting is not null, the function returns the expression. That means if it's not null, it will return this. That is your first argument. And if it's null, it will give you this alternate value. If the null function returns a specified value, if the expression is null, if the expression that you are calculating is not null, this function returns the expression. So that means I was calculating distinct salaries from there, right? I was ordering it by the salary, doing this. If this expression, I'll show this on LEETCODE. Yeah. If this expression comes out to be null, if this entire expression comes out to be null, I will get null as my answer. If not, I will get this thing only as my answer. Clear with the solution? Give me a thumbs up if you are done. Or yes, if the both of them works. So if this expression comes out to be null, you will get this null as your answer. If not null, then you will get the answer from the expression only. Any doubt? If you have a doubt, you can just say doubt. I'll explain it to you again. I have 24 people in the meeting. I at least want 10 yes if you understood it. I got 3 only. Give me a yes if you're able to understand. Good. So I'll just submit this for you. It's giving me a syntax error at line 1. Let me check what I've done wrong. Order by assignment is fine. Select IFNULL. Select distinct salary. This okay. Null. Brackets. Oh, sorry. This one is fine. I have to add one open bracket, I guess. IFNULL, yes. And here pe bhi there's a, if you can see, there are actually 2 brackets, right? One bracket is here and one bracket is here. So I need to add 2 brackets here. This is for the expression, this one bracket, and another bracket is for the conditions that we have. Let me just submit it. Clear. Fine. So I have submitted the answer. I gave you two new solutions to this particular question. Now coming to nth highest salary, this is a similar question. The link is in the group. The nth highest salary is basically they'll give you a number called n. For example, it can be 3, it can be 2, it can be 1. So accordingly, you have to return the nth highest salary. For example, if n is equals to 2, give the second highest salary. If n is equals to 3, give the third highest salary. Can you think of an answer for this one? This is very similar to the previous question that we solved. Very similar. Think of it. If you understood limit and offset, it will be a piece of cake for you. Yeah, using offset, correct. Can you do it? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're able to solve it? Offset n minus 1 and limit you will use. Fine. This is the correct answer. Let me write it again for you. I will select salary from employee. Employee, I guess, name. And output mein I have to give get nth highest salary second. Okay. So you don't need to worry about it because it's a function. So from employee, and what I'll do here is I will employ, okay, this will work. And you have to again use everything that we used. That means we have to order by what? Order by salary descending, and you have to limit your answer to 1 and give the offset as n minus 1. Why? If I ask you, somebody can ask me, Muskan, why are we setting it to n minus 1? Why not n? Can you give me one example? Yeah, I'll come to your doubt, Shivam. I just want to take you from the beginning level so that we understand the mistakes and then go ahead. Okay. I want you to answer me first why we are taking offset as n minus 1. A small explanation of offset n minus 1. Why we are not taking it as n? Let's do one thing. Let's run this out and let's see what we are getting. Now, this is 100, 200, 300. This is the same way it will work. Let's see the test cases. Okay. So now you can see that our argument is 2. That means our n is 2. So I want the second highest salary. That should be this one. Right? And what we are getting is we are getting 100. We are getting 100. But we should get what? 200. Why? Because we are skipping 2 rows. We are skipping 2 rows. And then we are going ahead with the one that is after that, right? We are skipping 2 rows and then we are going ahead with the one that is after that. Yes, because if n rows are omitted, then it wouldn't send the records that we need. So in the output, let me just draw it for you. So for example, this is the output that you have. You have 300, 200 and 100. If you do offset n, that means offset 2, if I'm going ahead with this test case, so it will skip these rows and give me this as the output. I want the second highest salary. So my output should be this, right? It should be 200. So I have to set the offset as n minus 1. Do we understand why we need to set the offset as n minus 1? Yes, please. If you understand, give a yes in the chat section. So I'll just write offset n minus 1 and let's see now. Good. You have an error. Okay, fine. In SQL syntax, check this 1 second. This is fine. Limit 1, offset n minus 1. Okay. What we can do here is, if we are doing offset n minus 1, yahan pe, can you please repeat this one? Okay, I'll repeat it once again. What is the problem? Can anyone tell me what is the error that we're getting? You can easily see that you have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds to your MySQL server for the right syntax to use near -1. That means here we have some error. So can anyone help me with that? Can anyone tell me why we are getting this error? Okay, so somebody's saying, do we need this? Let's try this. No, this is not working. Think of it. Brackets. Okay, let me write brackets for you too. This is what you want. I'll do that for you. No. What is the problem that we are getting? Offset n minus 1. Let's write it like this in these brackets. Should I run it now? Still, it's showing that you have an error near this. So what can be the issue? N is undefined here, N is not declared. Okay. So यहाँ पे you have this N int. Okay. So what can be the issue? You are near it, you are almost there with the answer, but what can be the issue? I got one more answer. N is equals to what? Okay, N is equals to question mark. 1 second. Yep. N is equals to question mark. Fine. You have to, in this function, you have to tell what is your N. N is an integer but not initialized code. So there can be any junk value in the in N. Okay, fine. Anything else? See, I'll tell you one more thing that you can do whenever you're getting some error like this. So I will not be there, your friends will not be there whenever you're getting the questions, right? So if you have an error in SQL syntax, then generally what happens is you can just Google it out. Offset n minus 1 not working. Let's see it. Offset n minus 1 and at highest salary. Okay, somebody has given this only in the question, right? So we can go here. We can see if we found something. The general solution which should be working is this, okay? And okay, this is the one that we are getting. So I think, yes, I was trying to use offset, but it was showing an error for n minus 1. I think this is the solution. Function, this is the one. Okay. So can you think of something? They have given one small example. You can see here, they have given one thing. Declare m and set m is equals to n minus 1. Yes, n minus 1 is giving you error. N minus 1 is giving you error. So what we needed to do just to solve this out is, if I just make it offset, I just leave it like this, offset. And then instead of using it like this, what I can do here is, I can set n is equals to n minus 1 before we are starting with this one. Can we do that? We can set n is equals to n minus 1, or you can even declare another variable. If you're familiar with some coding concept, let's declare another variable. I'm declaring a, and I'm saying that it's of n type, and I'm saying that a is equals to n minus 1. Whatever thing that I have here in my n, the value of a will be n minus 1. Fine. And what I can do here is, I can just add this thing, offset me. I can just add what? Can anyone tell me what will I add in offset? Okay, everybody's saying A. Let's try this out. Yes, let's try this out. Now it's showing that you have another error in your SQL syntax. Okay, 1 second. I have to write it like this. Yeah, you have to write set also. Set A is equals to n minus 1. You have to tell that the value of A should be set to this. Now if I run it, yeah, case 1, case 2, both are done. So do you understand how this is working? Now, can anyone tell me ki problem kya rahi thi? So Prateek doesn't understand. The problem is limit cannot recognize expressions with arithmetic operators. You have to do the math, whatever math you have, before you are doing the limit. So jo bhi math you want to do, you have to do it before you are declaring the limit. Do we understand it now? जो limit है, the limit that we have cannot recognize expressions with what? Arithmetic operators. Give me a yes or no. Got it. Okay, good. So whatever you need to define, you have to do it before what? Before limit. Fine. So our test cases are passing, our result is fine. Let's submit before. It's giving wrong answer. So it's giving null. Why? Test cases are passing. Okay, test cases are fine. Argument 1. 1 second. Let me run this out for you. But still, it's not working. Can you think of something why it's not fine? Case 1 is accepted. Case 2 is accepted. Both of them are doing fine. But if I submit it, it's not working. 1 second. Submit. Okay, so here, when you have 200s, so it should give you 100 as the second highest salary, right? So it's not giving me anything because we have salary, right? We have not told them that we need to add distinct. Okay? If we have distinct salary, that means if both of them are 100, that means in our output, in our second highest salary, we should get what? We should get null, right? We should get null as the answer because both of them are same, both of them are 100. So we need to add distinct here. Do we understand why we need distinct? Sorry. Give me a yes if you understand why you need distinct. See this test output. There's 100 and 100 here. So if two people are earning 100 rupees and you ask them which is the second highest thing that you are earning. So there will be no answer because they are earning the same amount, right? So here you have to add distinct. And if this happens that both of the values are same, you will get null as the answer. Good. So if I submit it now, yes, it will work. Give me a thumbs up if you are able to submit both of the questions. Yes, okay, 2 people have done it. Anyone else? Good. I hope you all like the class. A small, I'll just give a small, I think we don't have expressions here. Thumbs up to all of you. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see. I'll meet you tomorrow with the next question. I have not used in the select statement because if you see that in the function, right? You can see we have created a function and that's the get nth highest salary. Okay. So if you don't understand the small syntaxes, then you can just go on Google and write SQL function. And here you will get the syntaxes of where you need to add the semicolon and where you don't need to.